So this is a strange one. So I've occasionally seen these online and I haven't paid much attention to them actually. And they've usually been quite pricey as well. In fact, very pricey. So I haven't picked it up. But then I saw this one for a good price and I had a little look at it and I thought, this is really cool. I really like the look of this. And it's actually part of the Microman line. And if you've been a follower of this channel for a while, you know I'm a big fan of Microman. Micronauts and Microman. Micronauts being a spin-off of Microman, is one of my favourite toy lines of all time, along with Transformers. And you'd have seen in one of my old videos I talk about how Microman, Micronauts and Transformers are all connected, as well as Diaclone. And yeah, just some really cool toys from the creator of Transformers, Takara. Excuse my pronunciation of that. I'm probably pronouncing it completely wrong. I think it is Takara, but I'm used to calling it Takara by now. So yeah, sorry if that upsets anybody. But yeah, so these are made by Takara, who created Transformers along with obviously Hasbro, to turn them into what we know today. So when Takara had the original molds, they were called Micro Change, and Micro Change was part of the Microman line. In fact, this guy here is a more modern Microman. So this is from the 90s, whereas the original Micromen were from the 70s actually. So they're quite an old toy. And they were a response to the oil crisis in the 70s, where the production of plastic became extremely expensive. And so Takara, who had been creating a range of toys called Henshin Cyborg, which was their version of G.I. Joe. So essentially they were G.I. Joes, the same mold, but they were kind of transparent and see-through, and you could kind of see all these kind of metal robotic parts inside of them, which are really cool. And I've got a Henshin Cyborg downstairs actually in my display. Again, if you never heard of them, look them up. They're amazing. Just really, really cool. But they couldn't keep producing these kind of 12-inch figures with this kind of cost crisis. So they ended up creating this idea of doing a very similar design, these kind of translucent kind of figures, and that kind of almost kind of like cyborg or robotic, but in this much smaller scale, hence the term Microman or Micromen. And they went actually for a long time, from the 70s into the 80s. In fact, 1984 was kind of the end of the Microman line, before kind of Hasbro kind of started bringing Transformers and that kind of Micro Change line over to America and the UK, and partnering with Takara to kind of relaunch, if you like, some of these characters as the characters we know today of kind of Optimus Prime and Megatron and so on. So in 1984, right at the very end, as kind of the Microman line was kind of, not as popular as it was, they released these, and there was 3 of them in the wave, and they were called Shooting Star Robo or Meteor Robo. So I suppose the idea of these kind of balls acting a bit like meteors. Or shooting stars falling from, an alien planet, and Microman were meant to be kind of aliens that had arrived on Earth and kind of hiding in plain sight, kind of pretending to be toys. So these were MC14, MC15 and MC16, and this particular one here is MC15. And when I kind of got this in my hands and started having to play with it and trying to find out a bit about it, actually surprised how hard it was to kind of come by information about these characters. And I ended up putting a post on Discord where there's a bunch of other people on there who are also kind of fellow collectors, who also love kind of Transformers and all the old stuff from Takara. And thankfully Magnum Prime, who's a YouTuber himself actually and a big collector of some of the old Takara kind of toys, he put me onto a blog by, what's it called? Yeah, soundwavesoblivion.blogspot.com. And that was a brilliant resource in terms of finding out a bit of information about these, because my usual go-to for Microman information, and it's a fantastic site, is micromanforever.com. And if you're interested in Microman, or you want to know more about the Microman line from the 70s all the way through to the relaunch in the 90s and beyond, that's definitely the site to check out. And although they make reference to these, and so they are there, there's not actually any information on the Microman Forever site that I could see anyway. So yeah, thanks to Magnum Prime for showing me Soundwave's Oblivion. And so on there, I was able to find out a little bit more about these. And in fact, they were released, alongside being released in Japan, they were also released in Italy by Gig. Gig were known for releasing quite a few of the Takara figures into kind of Europe. And they were called, or this one was called Spheric Robot Leo. And they were released in this original deco. So there are some KOs of these where they're kind of silver. But it's the gold one that you want, which shows that it's an original. So just before I kind of continue talking about this, let's just have a little play. I think one of the things I really like about this, it's almost like a, one of these fidget toys. Kind of makes you want to kind of pick it up. And I do love the chrome effect and some nice little die cast parts here. So I'm just going to turn that around here and bring these parts out. And then this bit should, yeah, there we go. That should pull out like so. And that's going to create his body. And we're just going to move those legs there, look, to the back. And then this bit here is actually then the mane of the lion, which is what it transforms into. So I'm just going to push that bit there, and that will release his jaw. And then we have got a bit of die cast here, which on the feet, so you can turn these as well, but I like to keep them that way. I just think that's a nicer kind of silhouette. And then finally, right at the bottom here, we've got the tail of the lion. So I'm just going to bring actually that bit of, bring this black sheet so we can kind of see this a bit easier. See if I can balance this on here. Bring that forwards. There we go. Okay, so let's just move my camera and we should be able to see this a little bit easier. There we go. So for me, I just thought this was fantastic. There's MC15 is the robot version. So again, it's another kind of ball that turns into a robot. And then the harder to find one is MC16, which is the hawk, which is kind of like an eagle or a hawk. And I think that's a silver ball that turns into, yeah, this kind of flying bird. And it does say actually it comes in a gold and metallic, so I don't know if there was two variations of this, I'm not sure. Whereas the robot version came in silver and metallic, and this one, the lion or Leo, came in gold and metallic. So again, I don't know if that's just a description of this one, metallic gold, or whether it came in two different kind of colorways, I'm not sure. So we've got a bit of kind of articulation here due to the transformation. We can kind of move the legs backwards and forth. As I already said, you can kind of turn these die-cast feet, and you can also turn the mane there, so you can give him a bit of a tilt. And I don't know how well it would pick up the details there, but there you go. So you can see the eyes there. It's got that kind of angry expression. You got the movable jaw, which is quite cool, which again is just part of the transformation, but it's a nice little feature. I like the way that kind of pops back in. I'm just going to pop that back out again. So it's kind of spring loaded, which is just, yeah, really, really nice. And so actually when I started digging, you know, for some information on this, it turns out this mold did get re-released. This was actually in 1988. They released it as part of an anime line. So I think it kind of linked with Transformers, which was Mashin Hero Rataru. Again, really sorry if I've pronounced that awfully. And it was recolored with kind of transparent yellow. And he was named this time Evil Lion. So I think this originally for the Microman line was a good guy. And when they re-released it in this kind of transparent yellow, it was now the kind of one of the villains, yeah, Evil Lion. And then so 10 years later then, from 1988, it was re-released again. And this time as part of the Beast Wars Egg Beast subline. This time though, they added kind of little keychain feature, so you could use it as a keychain. And I think it came in with another character, so I'm not sure if you could buy it on its own. I think it came with another toy. And again, they kept with the translucent kind of themes. There was a translucent yellow version, which was EC1 Egg Leo. And then there was another translucent dark green version, which is really cool. And that was Dark Egg Leo. And then actually, believe it or not, it was re-released again. This time in 2007. And it was now retermed as a Spark Bot. And this was for a Transformers line called the Kiss Play series. So it kind of carried on the keychain idea, but this time it was a pink version, a translucent pink version. And they changed the gender as well. So it was actually called Angela this time. And Angela had special abilities in the accompanying manga that came with that. I think there might have been an anime as well. And she had the ability to fly. She was telepathic. She could time travel, and all of that could be done when the character was activated with a kiss, hence the kind of title Kiss Play. And so they released a version of this mold for the Tokyo Toy Show, which is really cool. And as I said, that was a translucent pink version. So if you are looking out for these, you might see some of these kind of translucent plastic versions. But I have to say, I really like the chrome on these. I just think they look fantastic. So nice little spotlight on MC15 there. Hope you've enjoyed learning about quite a rare toy, actually. I don't see many of these about. So yeah, do keep an eye out for them.